All right, Coach, it's been a wet and dreary day by the shores of Lake Erie, but we have football at First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. This was the scene a few minutes ago. The dog pound in full roar as their Browns emerge from their tunnel. They're ready to go as they get set to match up with Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Hey, we got Mike, number 53. Mike, 53. One left. 36.
The first carry for C.J. Procise. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Throwing is Wilson. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. The D-tackle Sheldon Richardson came barreling in for the sack.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. Wilson and the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down.
But that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Tighten up. Run.
Now Mayfield. An incomplete. Crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Come on, QB, come on. Check.
Little razzle-dazzle by OBJ. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Odell Beckham with touchdown number 8 on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Austin Seibert on for the extra point. And we'll see if this rain affects the team's decisions going forward, but they kick it here, and it's good. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys a little bit jumpy.
But you do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3 and out.
And now they have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here. The lane opens up that time as he'll be brought down just short of a first after a gain of about 9. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Brings up 2nd and 1 at their 49-yard line.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. Now Wilson. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. And this pass defense, they were sensational in the win last week, and they're looking good here so far in this first quarter.
You know, we often talk about how offenses get locked in, and that runs over multiple games where they're really, in that zone. Defenses can be the exact same way, and I think we're seeing an example of it here.
They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. From the shotgun, Wilson. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. And they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there. So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 43. From the gun, it's Wilson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Larry Ogunjobi in for the sack. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
So following the sack, they'll try to change their fortune here on 2nd and 13. Now it's Wilson. That one going to be complete to David Moore. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 33.
A gain of 14.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Wilson's throw caught by Metcalf. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And this is picked up by the Browns. So a first-quarter fumble in the rain, and this isn't supposed to let up. They've had flash flood warnings just west of here, so they better get used to this.
And it's hard to do real early in the game because you're so amped up and you're trying to do so much. You've got to get used to it, though. You've got to focus in on the ball, make sure you're taking care of it. That one cost them.
Watch the run. Watch the run. Watch the run.
Now the third leading rusher among rookies last year, it's Nick Chubb. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
2nd and 9 at the 2-yard line.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Mike 54. Hey, come on out here. Come get some. Come get some.
Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. And he'll take this up to about the 7 or 8 yard line. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
The Browns opted not to pick a running back with their first 2 selections at number 1 and 4 in the first round. But they circled back in the second round and got a really good one to Nick Chubb out of Georgia. Broke off a nice run there, and that's where he's good. Good vision, able to see where the hole is, and make nice gains each time he touches the ball.
54, right there, right there.
They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the first. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
First and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now, and I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
It's a gain of 12, first down Seahawks.
A gain of 12. First down.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. On 2nd and 2, Wilson, and this is incomplete. The rookie DK Metcalf, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and short. Now keep in mind, they did have 3 interceptions last week. Couldn't quite come up with a first quarter pick that time.
But they had to like what they saw in terms of reacting when the ball is thrown. We had an expression when I played. It was called break on it. Every time the quarterback puts the ball in the air, break on the football. Go make a play and accumulate those interceptions.
Former defensive back. You remember those 3 interception games. They can be contagious, give you a little momentum.
They really can, and it doesn't matter whether it's one person or if you spread them across your entire defense, everybody wants a piece of that pie.
To throw is Wilson. They're able to locate Wilson. The Seahawks moving pretty well through the air. Another first down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Mike, 53, Mike. They gonna need some therapy after this.
Now Wilson on first down. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Larry Ogunjobi able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. And that is the third sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game. I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. 2nd and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack. Here's Wilson. And the hookup here with Jalen Strong complete. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Quick, 280. 53 is the mark. Oh, you got deep? Watch twist. Good job right there. Quick.
On 3rd down, Wilson. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. Sheldon Richardson picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. And that'll be off the crossbar and out and short. He couldn't get it there. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. Well, he had that one on target. That's half the battle. The other half of the battle, however, is distance.
And he nearly had that, too. But it was a crossbar that said otherwise. And that'll deny him a shot at 3.
On 1st and 10, Mayfield. It's caught by OBJ. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
I know you feel that.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 44-yard line.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports.
7, Seahawks nothing.
Hurry! 57. Hurry! Man, that's trash. Alert! Big time!
They go with Chubb on 2nd down. And he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Pistol. Point it right. Hey, we heavy on the edges. 57. Mike, 57. Oh, yeah, I'm coming.
3rd and short yardage. Mayfield. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Shaquille Griffin knocking it away that time in coverage.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And now a high kick here as he'll try to hang it up there. Only 29 yards on the punt there. Definitely not his best. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Myles Garrett in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Now it's Wilson. Caught. It's Wilson. A good pickup there. 18 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Wilson now to throw on 3rd down. Looking for Strong, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Joe Schobert. And a terrific return there. They're finally able to corral him down near the 11-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
Check, cross. Hey, alert 33. Rush in, rush in, rush in.
Following the interception, Mayfield. He finds his target, Beckham. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Mayfield looking end zone, but it's incomplete. The Pro Bowler Odell Beckham, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd down.
I know every offense wants to start their snaps closer to the goal line, but it's actually harder to throw the ball in those situations. You throw into that tight coverage, you see what happens. Hard to get the ball in there.
Not enough space there. Lucky maybe that it wasn't intercepted.
Single receiver. 85, I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you. Here we go. Here we go. Let's go, D. Big series right here. So we got to step it up. Kill, kill, kill. Real. 50. Mike is a... Let's go. 50. Not here. Mike's 50. Mike's 50. I'm here all day. I'm here all day.
On 3rd down, Mayfield. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. Rashard Higgins, his first touchdown on the year. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Here's Wilson to throw. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. He's exceeded his receiving yards from a week ago, and we're still in the first half. It's a 1st down.
And the Seahawks.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Wilson now. From the gun, he'll throw. And he finds Penny. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
It's a gain of 30. First down, Seahawks.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover. The angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
Wilson now rebounding nicely after the interception. He's hit 4 straight to start the drive. It's first down. Wilson leaves this one with Penny, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Second and 11 at the Browns' 12-yard line.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And strong running there as he's inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line. 4 yards there on the keeper, but still going to bring up a 3rd down.
Third down.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. This time Wilson will throw. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Myles Garrett, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. This just a 35-yard attempt from the left hash. 2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Myers' kick is good. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So he gets a shot at atoning for the earlier miss here in the first half and able to knock it through.
And what a relief for him, don't you think? Because how many games have we done where kickers missed one early and never gotten a chance to atone for it the rest of the game? That's a lot to carry around.
Let's go. Let's go.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him, because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Mayfield looks to throw. He's got Njoku, his big tight end. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. The catch and run pays off to the tune of 35 yards.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Mayfield with a quick fire to Landry. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. Actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up, 2nd and 10.
He's checking, he's checking, he's checking. Crash, crash. Hey, alert, 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 alert. 50, Mike 50, huh?
Now Chubb running right. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts, as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1.
1st and 10 at the 18-yard line.
From the red zone now, Mayfield. And it'll be intercepted. Trey Flowers picks it, and a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Well, look at the clock here. You're inside of a minute. First half hasn't gone that well for you. How are you going to play this drive?
Well, I've been told by my coaches previously that the intelligent approach, go ahead and run out the clock and start over. Don't make any more mistakes. But there's also something to understanding that you get this last drive here. You get the ball to start the second half. Try and go 2 for 1 here. Get some points now and come out of the locker room and get more points again and get your momentum really built up.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. He'll find Metcalf. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
14.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Here's Wilson. And a completion to Wilson. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not even going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
50. 40. Watch the shot.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Flush to his right. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's second down.
That's what I'm talking about. Nice hit, boy.
A gain of a yard brings up second and 9.
And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. From the right hash, this from an even 40 yards out. And Myers able to knock it through. And a second field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now. So, yes, they'll still be down going into intermission, but the deficit is now made even smaller, very manageable.
Yeah, and if nothing haywire happens here in his last couple of precious seconds, they will go into the locker room with a nice bounce in their step, having gotten a little bit closer on the scoreboard.
So we have reached halftime here in what's an 8-point game. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12.
First down. First and 10 at the 32-yard line.
From the 32 now, here's first and 10.
Let's get in there. Let's get in there.
And now Mayfield on the bootleg. Sliding up, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Credit the sack to Shaquem Griffin. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
Pistol. Hey, alert 33. He's coming, double up.
Throwing on second and long. Mayfield, he's going to air one out. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. It was Trey Flowers that time who got a hand in and broke it up.
I'm laughing to myself because I could just hear in film session. But, Coach, I was throwing to Odell Beckham Jr. Of course I thought he was open.
They'd love to go deep downfield to him, though. Such a threat.
Yeah, a rare incompletion because most of the time we expect him to actually come up with the catch.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
Returnable for Lockett. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. When the holding penalty sets them back inside the 20 as they get going on this drive. Out of the gun, here's Procise. Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now, is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. It's a 6-yard run, leaves them with about a foot or so here still to go to hit the marker with third down coming up. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
53, Mike.
They're not ready for this, man. They're not ready for this. They still playing soft.
From the gun on third down, Wilson. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 33. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
It's caught. Beckham. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. That gain of 15 gets them on the doorstep, first and goal. They'll run with Chubb. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's second and goal.
King. We got double up.
A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to set up a third and goal.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Now, it'll definitely be a disappointment to come out of this starting position with just 3 points. They need to try to dial something up now, 3rd and 10. They'll run again with Hunt. And Hunt is not going to get there. No gain on the play. And what to do now on 4th and goal? It's kind of an interesting decision. 1-score game, 3rd quarter. What do you do?
Yeah, I'm willing to go out on the limb on this one and go for it. And here's why. If I set it up right now and go get the touchdown, I'm in firm control of this ball game, and my team has a ton of confidence. If I don't get it, hey, I rely on my defense. And if somehow they go downfield on me and score, so be it. I want to be in control and in firm control right now.
Mayfield to throw for it on 4th. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. Odell Beckham. His 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Browns take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in. Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And the lead is up to 15 now. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29.
Three bucks.
Run fast.
53 to Mike. 53.
Here's Wilson to throw again, and that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on third down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Throwing is Wilson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Myles Garrett make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. And that last touchdown drive they had very balanced. How key is that balance?
It's huge because most of the time when we talk about balance is run, pass, almost 50-50. But most of the times when you talk to offensive coaches, they say balance is we do what we want when we want to. And that means that they're ahead of the defense, keeping them on their heels.
Yeah, they imposed their will on that last drive. Give him 4 yards there on the first down keeper.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
20. 57 to Mike. You must be getting tired of seeing me.
Point it right.
From the gun, it's a give to Chubb. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a third and about 2.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Good. 180. Watch the slip. Alert. Pistol.
They'll try to run for the first down with Hunt. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down. Here's Jamie Gillen now as he's on to punt for Cleveland. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Up at the 29 now, they'll head to the line, 2nd and a yard. Now Wilson. This complete to Lockett. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 22 yards there, a first down.
First down, Seattle.
Wilson now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Wilson going to hand it to Procise. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 48-yard line.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Here we go. Watch the pass. Watch the pass.
From the shotgun, Wilson. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. Olivier Vernon able to record his 5th sack of the season. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. 3rd and long. It's Wilson. And he's going to be taken down. They sack him on what will be the final play of quarter number 3. And we're back now here in Cleveland. It's the Seahawks with possession of the football, but they do trail here to begin quarter number 4. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. And a nice job here on special teams. This will be down inside the 10 at the 8-yard line. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
Watch the screen! Watch the screen! Watch the screen! Watch the screen!
Mayfield now looking to throw on first down. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just 2nd down.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead. You've got to protect it. And he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, 4th quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
Throwing again, Mayfield on 2nd and 10. And he's got the hook up to Landry. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup.
It's a gain of 11.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
So a much rosier picture now after that last play. Here's 1st and 10 at the 19-yard line. Mayfield tosses one complete to Landry, and they're able to get this one across the 35. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays. Mayfield now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. A run for Nick Chubb. And he'll take this up over the 40 to about the 41. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 41-yard line.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Hey, watch the ball.
Slam! Slam! Slam!
Pistol. Hey, alert 33.
Jim!
Greystone, travel.
And again, it's Chubb. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Browns on 3rd down. They've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 4.
He's crashing!
From the gun, Mayfield. And this is going to be incomplete. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them, because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
They'll call that a 33-yard punt with no return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
On 2nd and a yard. Wilson, he hits his running back, Procise. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First down, Seattle, 16 yards the gain there.
First down.
Wilson now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Wilson. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. To throw again on 2nd down. Wilson, this one into the hands of Metcalf. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a 1st down.
17 yards.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. You're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Now it's Wilson. It's caught. Lockett. The catch and run, good for 24 yards. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. He already has 2 sacks to his credit, now another tackle for loss.
And you know how you can always identify who was supposed to block him? They're the ones helping up the person who just got knocked to the ground with the ball, right? Whether it's a running play or a pass play, they've got to figure out a way to slow him down. Maybe you chip him with a second guy. Maybe you just out-and-out double him. Maybe you make sure you take the ball and throw it as far away from him as possible. Because right now, he is wrecking things for them.
On 2nd and 11 now. Wilson. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Sheldon Richardson getting him once again his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Wilson to the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here.
Let's go, D, let's go.
Wilson operating from the gun. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. DK Metcalf, his 4th touchdown on the year. As they're now just an extra point away from getting back within 1 score. And now in a 9-point game, they'll still just need to go for 1 here. And it's good, so that will get them back within 1 score.
Seahawks 13. Michael Dixon to kick off for Seattle.
So the lead trimmed down to 8 as here comes the kickoff, and it's away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays They're going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs. And the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. In on the tackle there, Bobby Wagner, coming off a third straight All-Pro season. Well, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
They run it again with Chubb. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a third down.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key third down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means it might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key third down. Highlight that word, put it in bold. Here we go. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On third down, Mayfield. Looking deep downfield. He's got it at the 15. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. David Njoku. His first touchdown on the year. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Well, some might have returned that one. He won't. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start the drive from the 25. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw is Wilson. Going to throw again. And his throw is going to be incomplete. David Moore, the intended target, but now it's 3rd down. I guess they're in a situation now, 4th quarter, where they're forced to take some chances, but I don't know that that was the type of a chance you want to take.
And that one could very easily have been intercepted, and if it does get picked off, that could possibly seal this one.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Operating from the gun, Wilson to the right side, incomplete to Metcalf. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. So even with the pass interference, it's a completed pass. They'll go ahead and just take the play instead.
How about the effort? Making the catch despite the pass interference, Nothing else to be gained on the play. No need to take the penalty. The play stands.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Here we go. Here we go.
From the gun, Wilson. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked up by Greedy Williams, the rookie from LSU.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
Mayfield on the keeper. It's a loss of the yard. Brings up 2nd and 11 at their 49-yard
We got 3
line.
down, 3 down.
What's that? God.
And they'll take a knee as the clock runs under a minute to play. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long.
3 down, 3 down. I got you, 45.
What's that?
And they'll indeed take a knee.
Mayfield on the keeper. A loss of a yard. It's 4th down.
So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here. And it was Baker.